Question is, who's a Jew? What is a Jew? Is Jew a nationality, a people, culture, ethnicity? Can you be a Hebrew Jew? Can you be a Yiddish Jew? Ashkenazi? Khazarian? No. Being a Jew doesn't mean you have a nationality. Being a Jew is a spiritual communion with God or the spirit world. There's no Jewish race. There's no Jewish lineage. There's no Jewish ancestry. Doesn't exist. All of that is mythological, allegorical, esoterically, and occultic. It's not something that you can go out here and find somebody and say, well, they got Jewish blood. No, there's no such thing as a Jewish race. Never has been, never will be. Even these clowns out here that call themselves Black Hebrew Israelites. The Black Hebrew Israelites are no more Jews than all the people in Israel or the people everywhere else that call themselves Jews or Israelites. There's no race. There's no such thing as a Jewish race. It's a spiritual concept. It is something of the spirit world. It is something between you and your highest level. Every man can become a Jew because a Jew is one that believes in God or is in communion with God if you believe in a God or gods. Being a Gentile is quite different. That means that you are somebody that have no desire for God or revelation. You're outside the will of God. Basically, you are beyond redemption. You cannot be a Gentile and be godly. It's just not possible. So that lie that people talk about in the Bible or speaking of it in the Bible about Jews and Gentiles coming together as one, that's a lie. A Gentile can never become aligned with a Jew because a Jew is a believer and one in communion with God in the spirit world where a Gentile is not. Okay? So why I'm doing this video is to therefore expound upon some dire points. All this fighting back and forth of who owns Israel and who's the true Jew. Well, all of them wrong. Because the true Jew is not a physical or spiritual people by nationality. It is a spiritual people based off of their communion with the enlightened path of righteousness. It has nothing to do with your mother, your father, your customs, your country. Every man can be a Jew if he's down with the Most High, as they say. And every man can become a Gentile if he's not. It's just as simple as that. It's just one is a believer and one is not. Just like atheists and theists, theists and atheists. One believes, one doesn't. Same thing. That land they call Israel really belongs to Kemet, which we call Egypt. That's Kemet. That's the land. It's not a holy land. It's nothing holy about the land. Let me break it down to you in this way, in this form and fashion. Everything that the Bible speaks about is mythological, allegorical, esoteric, metaphysical, occultic. It has nothing at all to do with anything physical. None of it. None of it. None of it. None of it is about the physical realities. It's all based off of the spiritual things. Astrotheology, numerology, the tarot. It has nothing to do with a physical creation. The story of Adam and Eve. Noah's, flood. Moses, Jesus, all that stuff. It has nothing to do with the physical. Because Adam and Eve, which is the second or third creation in Genesis, is really speaking about the lower animal self. Not the first creation of Genesis 1:26 through 27. It's speaking about in chapter 2, it's talking about a physical manifestation based off of the physical, the material. That's what it means. And see, the Bible is not spoken of in those terms. It's not explained in those terms, and it needs to be because that way people will get a better understanding and cadence of what's really going on and what's really being said. That's all. But based off of not knowing, that caused a lot of confusion, a lot of anger, a lot of discrimination, and so on and so forth. But no, the Israelites were never a physical people. Never. The Jews are not a physical people. Never. Being a Jew, like I said before, is a principle, a concept of one's mind in communion with the higher self. Being married to what you call God. That's what it is. That's all. Doesn't mean you go out here and doing a harmonica or blowing horn or whatever and eating certain food. It's not a race. It never was a race. It was made into a race by people writing themselves into history to take the place of the spiritual and bringing it into the physical, and therefore bringing about haste and trouble and racism and discrimination against other people. That's the big excuse. We can use religion to therefore dominate others because we can show them and tell them that we are the chosen people because the word says so. But it's a word that you either misinterpreted deliberately or you added to it deliberately. But it's not natural because no man is a physical Jew. The black Hebrew Israelites, they're very, very mixed up. Oh, they're so mixed up. They take the Bible literal. They don't take it in the way it's supposed to be read. They take it literal. And they hate people that call themselves white. And they hate everybody, And they claim that they are the chosen people, that black people in America are the chosen people. Chosen people are people that's in communion with the higher spirit. That's what a chosen person is. A chosen person is somebody in communion with the higher levels of consciousness. Not some race, not some gender, not some token, not some practice, not some historical concept. Chosen people are only those people that are down in communion with the righteousness of what we call God or the Creator. Thank you.